When Lily was 7 years old, her world fell apart the day her mother died. The house that once echoed with laughter and gentle songs became quiet, heavy with silence. Her father, Richard, tried his best to be both parents, but grief hollowed him out. 2 years later, he remarried, believing a new beginning would heal them both. That was how Margaret entered Lily's life. At first, Margaret seemed kind. She smiled often and spoke softly when Richard was around. She brought gifts on her first visit, a doll for Lily and flowers for the house. Lily wanted to believe in her. She wanted a mother again. But kindness, Lily soon learned, can be a mask. After the wedding, everything changed. Margaret insisted on strict rules. Lily had to wake up before sunrise to clean the house, wash dishes, and prepare breakfast. Margaret's own daughter, Clara, slept in late and spent her days reading or playing in the garden. "Hard work builds character," Margaret would say coldly whenever Lily complained. Lily went to school tired and hungry. Her clothes were old and faded, while Clara wore new dresses every season. Teachers noticed Lily's silence, but she never spoke. She was afraid that if she told the truth, things would get worse. Richard, blinded by love and trust, failed to see what was happening. Margaret made sure of that. Whenever Lily tried to talk to her father, Margaret interrupted. "She's just emotional," she would say with a gentle laugh. "Children exaggerate." At night, Lily cried quietly into her pillow, remembering her mother's warm hands and soft voice. She wondered what she had done to deserve such cruelty. Years passed and Lily grew into a quiet, resilient teenager. She learned to survive by staying invisible. But inside her, a storm was brewing. One winter evening, Richard fell seriously ill. He was hospitalized for weeks. With him gone, Margaret's cruelty intensified. "You're useless," Margaret snapped one morning, throwing a plate on the floor. "Clean that up, and don't think about school today. Clara needs help with her homework." That was the day Lily broke. She cleaned the broken pieces of the plate, but something inside her shattered too. She packed a small bag and left the house before dawn, walking aimlessly through the cold streets. By chance, she reached the town library, a place her mother used to take her. Inside, warmth and silence embraced her. The librarian, Mrs. Evans, noticed Lily's pale face and trembling hands. "What's wrong, dear?" she asked gently. For the first time in years, Lily told the truth. Mrs. Evans contacted social services. They listened. They investigated. And when Richard recovered and learned the truth, his heart broke with shame and anger. Margaret denied everything, but the evidence was clear. Neighbors had noticed. Teachers had noticed. Too many signs had been ignored. Margaret was forced to leave the house. Richard apologized to Lily with tears in his eyes. "I failed you," he whispered. "I should have protected you." Healing took time, but Lily slowly found her voice again. She focused on her studies, supported by teachers and friends. Years later, she earned a scholarship and left for college. On her last day at home, Lily stood in her old room, sunlight pouring through the window. The pain was still there, but it no longer defined her. She had survived cruelty. She had chosen strength. And in doing so, she proved that even the darkest childhood cannot steal a brave heart's future. After Margaret left the house, silence returned, but this time it felt different. It was no longer heavy with fear. It was fragile, uncertain, like a wound trying to heal. Richard tried to make up for lost years. He cooked meals, walked Lily to school, and asked about her day. But guilt hung over him like a shadow. Lily appreciated his efforts, yet something inside her remained guarded. Trust, once broken, does not return easily. At night, memories still haunted her. She remembered Margaret's cold eyes, the sharp words that cut deeper than any slap. She remembered standing alone in the kitchen while laughter drifted in from the living room, laughter she was never invited to join. Even though Margaret was gone, her voice lingered in Lily's mind. "You are nothing. You should be grateful. No one will ever choose you." Lily struggled with nightmares. She woke up trembling, soaked in sweat. Richard noticed and arranged counseling, hoping it would help. At first, Lily barely spoke during the sessions. Years of silence had taught her that words were dangerous. But slowly, she began to open up. She talked about her mother, the warmth, the love, the safety she lost too early. She talked about the fear she lived with every day, pretending everything was fine. And for the first time, someone listened without doubting her. Meanwhile, Margaret was not done. One afternoon, a letter arrived. Richard recognized the handwriting immediately. His hands shook as he read it. Margaret claimed she had been misunderstood. She blamed Lily, calling her manipulative and attention-seeking. She begged Richard to reconsider, to let her come back. Richard felt anger rise in his chest, not just at Margaret, but at himself. How could he have been so blind? That evening he showed the letter to Lily. She read it silently, her face pale. "I don't want her back," Lily said firmly. It was the first time she spoke with such certainty. Richard nodded. "She will never hurt you again, I promise." For the first time, Lily believed him. At school, things began to change too. With support from teachers and counselors, Lily joined a literature club. Writing became her escape. She poured her pain into poems and short stories, stories about lost girls who found their way back to the light. Her teachers were impressed. "You have a powerful voice," one of them said. "Don't ever silence it." Those words stayed with her. Months passed. Winter turned into spring. The house felt warmer, brighter. Lily laughed more often, though cautiously, as if the happiness might disappear. But life tested her once more. One day, Lily saw Margaret at the market. Margaret looked different, older, tired, bitter. Their eyes met for a brief moment. Lily felt her heart race, but she did not look away. Margaret sneered. "You ruined my life," she hissed. For years, Lily would have shrunk back in fear. Not this time. "You ruined your own life," Lily replied quietly. "I just told the truth." She walked away, her hands shaking, but her steps were steady. That night, Lily cried, not from fear, but from release. She had faced her past and survived. By the time Lily turned 18, she had earned top grades and a scholarship offer. Richard hugged her tightly when the letter arrived. "I'm so proud of you," he said. Lily smiled, tears in her eyes. She was proud too, not just of her success, but of her survival. She knew the scars would never fully fade, but they no longer controlled her. She had learned something powerful. Cruelty can shape a childhood, but it does not have to shape a destiny. The night before Lily left for college, sleep refused to come. She sat by the window of her childhood room, watching the moonlight spill across the floor. This room had seen her tears, her silence, and her strength. Tomorrow, she would leave it behind, not to escape, but to begin. Richard knocked softly and entered. "I never asked you," he said quietly, sitting beside her. "Do you hate me?" The question pierced Lily's heart. She thought for a long moment. "I don't hate you," she said honestly, "but I was hurt. I needed you, and you didn't see me." Tears filled Richard's eyes. "I see you now, every day." Lily nodded. That was enough. The next morning, they hugged for a long time before she boarded the bus. As it pulled away, Lily didn't look back. She looked forward. College was overwhelming at first. New faces, new rules, new freedom. Lily often felt small in the crowd, but she remembered what she had survived. Compared to her past, fear felt manageable. She studied literature and psychology, drawn to stories and the human mind. She wanted to understand pain, hers and others. One evening, during a campus event, Lily was asked to read one of her poems aloud. Her hands trembled as she stepped onto the stage. The room was silent. She began to read. Her poem spoke of a child locked in silence, of cruelty hidden behind smiles, of strength growing quietly in the dark. When she finished, the room erupted in applause. After the event, a girl approached her. "I went through something similar," the girl whispered. "Thank you for speaking." That moment changed everything. Lily realized her pain had a purpose. Years later, Lily became a counselor and writer. She worked with children who had been abused, unheard, or forgotten, children who reminded her of herself. She listened, she believed them, she protected them. One day, a letter arrived. It was from Margaret. Margaret wrote of loneliness and regret. She asked for forgiveness. Lily read the letter slowly. Her hands did not shake this time. She did not reply. Forgiveness, Lily had learned, is a choice, not an obligation. Instead, she placed the letter in a drawer and closed it gently. Her peace did not depend on Margaret's regret. That evening, Lily visited her mother's grave. She placed fresh flowers and smiled through her tears. "I survived," she whispered, "and I became someone strong." A soft wind passed through the trees, and Lily felt warmth in her chest, like an answer. She walked away, carrying her past not as a burden, but as a reminder of her courage. Because cruelty may break a childhood, but it cannot destroy a soul that chooses to rise.